Alright, so if you click this video, chances are you're probably looking for a new camping mattress, and as you probably already discovered, there are a ton of options out there. I mean, you can get solid foam options, you can get ones with electric pumps, you've probably already seen the one at Costco that's a crazy good deal. But I urge you guys, if you are considering a high quality, comfortable mattress that's gonna last you for years of camping out there, to take a look at the Exped line. They have singles and doubles, and each of those comes with different sizes within that category. So for the singles, you have the option of going with a 25-inch wide by 6 foot, or it can go up to a 30-inch by, I think it's 6'5". So for the double mattresses, I have two of the offerings that they currently have, which is a 40.9-inch by 72-inch long, and then also the 52-inch by 77-inch long mattress as well. And they even offer this mattress in a queen size. All right, so to make things a little bit less confusing, there are 3 different thicknesses. They start at 3-inch, then they go to 4-inch, which is what I have here, and all the way up to 6 inches thick, which is the MegaMat Max. There's definitely gonna be a size option that's right for you. And to be honest, I haven't tried the 3-inch or the 6-inch version, but I have used the 4-inch version for quite some time, and this one actually happens to be the most popular version out there. I think most people would be satisfied with the 4-inch thick version. However, if you're a strict side sleeper, you may prefer going up to that 6-inch version. I don't really see any reason to go to the 3-inch version unless you just want to save a little bit of money. I personally would just go no lower than the 4-inch. It feels fantastic. I couldn't imagine any less foam feeling the same or better. It would probably feel just slightly worse. All right, so laying on the Exped is just, really comfortable. It feels just like a memory foam mattress. It doesn't feel like you're sleeping on air. It also dampens the movements because it's memory foam. So if you're sleeping with 2 people, or in our case, even 3 people on there, rolling around isn't too much of an issue. Although it's not really easy to roll around on there too much because with the 3 of us, we kind of, fill up the whole thing. But with the 2 of us on there, the memory foam kind of dampens the movement, whereas if you're on an air bed, as soon as you turn, you kind of have that trampoline effect where the other person springs up, and not ideal, not ideal. So yeah, the cool thing about this mattress is when you add more air to it, it doesn't really feel like an air bed. It feels just like the foam gets denser. So you can let out air in this thing to soften it up and have more contour, or you can fill it up to the max with air and have a really nice firm bed. So you can actually dial this thing in to exactly what you want, which is probably one of the coolest things about this mattress, because you would think when you add air to one of these style of mattresses, it would literally just feel like an air bed. But it's not the case with this one because there's so much foam inside of there, it just contours to your body so well. So if you're wondering how this whole thing comes together, it's actually really simple, but there's one key thing you need to pay attention to before your trip. You can't just store it fully compressed for a year and go out on your camping trip and expect that foam to decompress instantly for you. It's gonna take time. Just like buying a memory foam mattress, bed in a box style online, they say wait, a full day for that memory foam to decompress. Same thing with these mattresses. These are using 4 inches thick of foam here. So if you keep it rolled up for a year and you put it in your trunk and you go to your campsite, it'll end up just being super flat and thin for hours and hours and hours out there. So there's a couple of options to make sure that doesn't happen. You can store the mattress with the valves open, either under a bed, behind the closet door. You can also keep it rolled up, no worries, but just a few days before you go on your trip, open up those valves, lean it against a wall, and then fold it down before your trip, and it will be good to go by the time you get to your campsite. The key thing is just giving it time to decompress, or just storing it uncompressed is really the way to go about using this mattress. And that's why they call it self-inflating, because the memory foam does most of the work and inflates the mattress, so to speak, because it fills the whole thing. And when you add the air, you're just essentially dialing it in to the firmness that you prefer. So pumping the mattress is really easy. It comes with this nice hand pump right here. There's a slight trick to it though. So if you pull back here on this tab and then pump, it actually is a lot easier. Now don't get me wrong, it doesn't take long at all to top this bed off. It's really just a matter of a few pumps. Probably takes under a minute for us to do it, and it's not strenuous by any standards. However, Exped has gone so far to even sell this mini pump with the bed that's electric, and I recently got my hands on one, and I have to say it's really nice. So now let's lay on the 40-inch one, and as you can see here, it fits the 2 of us fine still, but there's a lot less space. Basically, you're getting about 20 inches or so for each adult, which isn't a lot of space, but it's just enough, I'd say, to sleep comfortably still, depending on your size. So for reference here, I'm 5'8", my wife is 5'7". She's a side sleeper mostly. I'm kind of a combo all over the place sleeper. I don't have any issues using this size. We've slept on it a couple nights. In fact, one time we brought this and the three of us even slept on this. It was very cozy, probably too cozy for any of our liking. Well, what actually happened was we brought this one and then we brought Emmett's new backpacking mattress, and I think he decided he'd rather sleep with us in our bed while we're camping. So yeah, that happened, and you know, we made it through the night. It was cozy, it was warm. It's doable, but again, you know, not ideal. So yeah, I'd say for one person, this would be plenty spacious, very comfortable. You have the whole bed to yourself. For two people, it's cozy, but still comfortable. I'd say for two adults, maybe going up to that long wide duo is probably the way to go. I can see benefits to using that 40-inch maybe in the back of like your Subaru Outback or SUV or something like that, because you have wheel wells in the way, and that 40-inch mark typically ends up filling the whole back of your car. So I'd say in the back of a car styles, or if you have a smaller, more compact tent, that could be an option. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and take a look at how to deflate this thing. And that is one of the biggest things to pay attention to, because there's really only one way to do it. And that's being patient and taking your time by not overexerting yourself to get the air out of this thing. So what you wanna do is open up the deflate valve, fold it in half, and just lay on top of it. Use your body weight. If you have extra helpers on hand, that is fantastic as well, and you can all lay on it together to get that air out of this thing. And take your time with it, relax with it. This is usually one of the last steps that I do while I'm camping, so it's usually a break for me, honestly, to relax and lay down as I'm packing everything up. And once that air feels like it's gone down quite a bit, go ahead and fold it in half again, and then maybe all of you just lay on it or sit on it, do whatever you can to get that air out of it as much as possible. And finally, you're gonna go ahead, lay the thing out, and then start rolling. And if you follow those steps, it's honestly really easy, and you get used to doing this. You definitely don't have to wrestle this thing to get out the air. It's really easy to get back in the stuff sack. In fact, the Sidewinder stuff sack that Exped gives is oversized. So even if you don't get all the air out of it, it's not an issue at all. This thing will still fit inside the included carrying case, no problem. But getting it down to that factory size requires some patience. All right, so this right here is Exped's Widget air pump for the MegaMat mattresses. It also works with their backpacking mattress line as well. I really like this thing a lot. I think it's actually worth it. It has a light. It's also a built-in battery bank, so this is actually a pretty decent light. I've never used the light function, honestly, because I have so many other lanterns already that look way nicer. But as an extra light or one in the tent when you happen to be using it maybe at nighttime, it's really handy to have. So it's cool that they included that. So to turn on the fan, you just double tap right here. And while it probably sounds horrible on the camera, it's really not that loud. It's not a terrible sound at all. They've dialed this thing in even to the perfect decibel, I would say, where it's not gonna piss anyone off if you're camping next to them. And to be honest, it doesn't take that long to inflate anyways. This is also a built-in battery bank. So in an emergency, if you need to charge your phone, your flashlight, headlamp, whatever, it comes with a USB-C port on here. This is probably gonna charge maybe one iPhone out there if I had to take a guess. So don't rely on it, but it's just really cool that they included that in this thing. They really packed everything they could in this tiny cube. So I really do think this is worth adding on as well if you're already picking up the mattress. So yeah, if you're dealing with a leaky air mattress or you have just a really uncomfortable air bed out there, just know there are options out there for you. Getting a good night's rest out there is really important. So sleep is gonna be one of the biggest factors in impacting how your whole trip goes. And when you're heading home, you definitely wanna make sure you get a good night's rest so you're not tired on the drive back. I don't know about you guys, but in some cases I drive 2, 3, 4, 5 hours sometimes to these campsites. And if I didn't sleep all night, I'd be exhausted driving home. All right, well that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for this one. If you have any questions at all about the mattresses, make sure to comment down below, because we can always chat more about this stuff. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.